Hello everyone. Welcome to Nanuya channel. And today, we're talking about something that probably makes all of us a little uncomfortable. Selfishness. Are you selfish? And if you are, is that necessarily a bad thing? Let's break it down. Let's start with the basics. What does it actually mean to be selfish? When we think of selfishness, we often picture someone who only cares about themselves, doesn't consider others, and maybe even steps on people to get ahead. But is that the full picture? Psychologists define selfishness as prioritizing your own needs and desires, sometimes at the expense of others. But here's the twist. Not all self-prioritization is bad. In fact, some level of it is necessary for survival, success, and even happiness. So where do we draw the line? Think about everyday situations. Saying no to working overtime so you can rest. Choosing a career that fulfills you rather than following family expectations, or even taking time for yourself when you need a break. All of these could be seen as selfish. But are they wrong? Selfishness exists on a spectrum. On one end, you have extreme selflessness, where you constantly put others before yourself, sometimes to your own detriment. On the other end, you have extreme selfishness, where you disregard others entirely. The goal is to find a balance somewhere in between. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, recently faced a tough situation. She had been working long hours, helping her coworkers whenever they needed, and always making herself available for friends and family. But when she finally decided to take a weekend just for herself, no work, no obligations, just relaxation, some people called her selfish. They said she was neglecting her responsibilities and not being a team player. That made her question, was she really being selfish, or was she just taking care of herself? Sarah's story is something many of us can relate to. Sometimes putting yourself first can be seen as selfish, but is it really? That brings us to today's topic. Where is the line between selfishness and self-care? Signs you might be selfish. Now let's talk about how to tell if you're actually selfish. Here are some signs. You struggle with empathy. Do you find it hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes? When a friend shares their problems, do you think, how does this affect me? Instead of, how can I support them? You always put your needs first. Do you frequently cancel plans, refuse to compromise, or expect others to adjust to you? You struggle with sharing, whether it's time, resources, or attention. Do you get annoyed when someone asks for a favor? You rarely apologize or admit fault. If something goes wrong, do you tend to blame others or justify your actions rather than take responsibility? You feel entitled to special treatment. Do you believe your needs should come before everyone else's, simply because you exist? You interrupt or dominate conversations. Do you find yourself steering every discussion back to your own experiences? You take more than you give in relationships. Do your friendships or romantic relationships feel one-sided, where you receive more support than you offer? You resist compromise. Do you always want things your way and feel frustrated when you have to meet others halfway? You get impatient when others need help. Do you feel irritated when someone asks for your time or assistance? You struggle to celebrate others' successes. Do you feel jealous or dismissive instead of happy when someone else achieves something great? If you're nodding along, don't panic. Self-awareness is the first step. And remember, we all have selfish tendencies from time to time. But the real question is, how does it affect the people around us? When selfishness is actually a good thing. Okay, so we've talked about what selfishness looks like. But let's flip the script. Can selfishness ever be good? Absolutely. Here are some examples. Setting boundaries. Saying no to things that drain you isn't selfish. It's self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. pursuing your own goals. Chasing your dreams, even when others don't understand, isn't selfish. It's self-fulfillment. Taking care of your mental and physical health. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't be there for others. Being selective with your time and energy, you don't owe everyone access to you. Prioritizing yourself in a healthy way is just smart. Standing up for yourself. Advocating for your needs in relationships, at work, or in daily life doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you assertive. Avoiding toxic relationships. Walking away from people who manipulate or drain you isn't selfish. It's self-respect. Focusing on personal growth. Taking time to improve yourself benefits you and everyone around you. The key difference? Healthy selfishness doesn't come at the expense of others. It allows you to be your best self without trampling anyone in the process. How to be less selfish, if you need to be. So, what if you realize you're being selfish in a way that harms others? Good news. Selfishness isn't a fixed trait. Here's how to shift towards a more balanced mindset. Practice active listening. Focus on understanding others instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. Offer help without expecting anything in return. Small acts of kindness go a long way. Ask yourself, how does this impact others? Before making decisions, consider the ripple effect. Express gratitude. The more you appreciate others, the less you focus solely on yourself. Find a balance between self-care and self-sacrifice. You don't have to be a martyr, but you also shouldn't take more than you give. Check in with others. Ask friends and family how they feel in their relationship with you. Be open to feedback. Develop empathy through experience. Try volunteering, mentoring, or putting yourself in situations where you're helping others. Make small compromises. Try saying yes to someone else's plans, offering to help, or letting someone else take the lead. Celebrate others' achievements. Congratulate people genuinely and support their successes. Learn to apologize. Recognizing when you've been selfish and making amends is a powerful way to build stronger connections. So, is being selfish bad? The answer is, it depends. Selfishness that disregards others? Not great. But selfishness that helps you grow, set boundaries, and take care of yourself? That's actually a good thing. At the end of the day, life is about balance. Prioritize yourself, but don't forget that relationships, community, and kindness matter too. What do you think? Are you selfish? Is that a bad thing? Let me know. Send me a message, leave a review, or share your thoughts. Thanks for listening to Nanuya Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and tune in next time for more deep dives into life's biggest questions. Until next time, take care and stay curious.